Hello everyone and welcome back to NCAA 2004. We are here once again taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. That's right. After a big win for us over the Razorbacks, getting over that hump, we now need to get over the very next hump in our season, which always seems to trip us up, and that's the Georgia Bulldogs. The only time we've beat Georgia was, of course, last year's meeting in year number 3. We beat the Bulldogs 24-17, and that was the second meeting in Signaben's tenure where we were side by side in the rankings. So when we met in the SEC championship in year number 1, we were ranked 11th and 12th respectively, and then last year we went into that game ranked 14th and 13th. So we were both ranked again, but not nearly as close, as we were still holding on to our top 5 ranking, which we need to pay attention to, because later in the season we will look at the bowl computer a little bit more. But being in the top 5 with our schedule that we have, and if we manage to win through it, then we should be looked on pretty favorably by the BCS computer. But that is, again, much further ahead. We need to look at our opponent today, which is Georgia, of course, the SEC champions from year number 1. That means we've played back-to-back SEC champions over the last 3 full seasons that we've had at the helm here with Sick Naben. So Georgia, since winning the SEC championship, hasn't really been doing the most. In year number 2, they had a good season at 10-3, but clearly couldn't get over their own humps to reach their desired promised land. And then last year, they had a pretty rough year at 8-5. So going 4-4 in conference, and we were a part of that. So we might have their number finally. I'm going to say we might have their number, so we're going to roll with it here. So first quarter already here, our first play off the kickoff here, and Cobb wants a deep shot down the field, and he's going to find Chris Kelly, who we didn't call out too much in the last game, but we just have such a loaded receiving core. They're just so effective that we didn't really need them. So first and 10 here from about midfield, and Cobb wants another deep shot, and it's Jamil Spears, shakes off one tackle, and it's a foot race to the end zone, which no one is going to catch, and it is a touchdown. So very early on here, just a couple plays, and we were in the end zone as Jamil Spears, man, mossing safeties in the secondary, and just relying on that speed. It didn't look like he was moving that fast. Maybe another 5 or so yards, he would have been caught, but we didn't need another 5 yards because it was already a touchdown, baby. So 7-0 early on in the game here, and Georgia can't do much with the football. So on a 3rd and 11, Cobb, another deep shot to the end zone. It's Jamil Spears again coming down with it. So 2 touchdowns here in just a few minutes at home against the Bulldogs, as maybe Georgia was not prepared for this road game today, man. Maybe the crowd's a little bit too loud for the Bulldogs to really kind of compose themselves. And it's, again, the same DB getting mossed by Jamil Spears. You gotta feel some type of way, man, if that's what's happening. That's tough. So Georgia once again struggling on offense here. So with just 40 seconds and some change left to go, Cobb again another shot, and it's caught by Lamont Farrell, the running back. So we got the running back now getting involved in the receiving game, and he's going to get brought down inside the 20. So it's going to be another scoring opportunity for the Crimson Tide, but it's going to have to be finished in the second quarter as the first quarter comes to a close, taking probably our biggest lead ever against the Bulldogs into the second quarter. So on a 3rd and 6, their defense is trying to keep us out of the end zone, and Cobb to the corner of the end zone, and it's caught for the 3rd touchdown of the game. This time it is Chad Whitaker, the freshman, who was very, very much involved last week, or in the last video rather, against Arkansas, and he's getting himself very much involved here in this game early on as well. So we got 3 touchdowns here to 2 of our top receivers of the season so far. And once again, Georgia's struggling on offense. And on 3rd and 2, we're going to hand it off to the fullback, and it's number 15. He's going to pick up a first down and get us even further into Bulldog territory here. So we're going to have yet another chance to add some points on top of these Bulldogs, man. It's crazy. Already 21-0 here in the second quarter here. We got plenty of time to add even more points. So Cobb's going to drop back here. He's going to step up in the pocket and unload one across the middle, and it is caught once again, this time to Jamil Spears again. And there you can see the receiving comparison. He is already over 100 yards here, and the game is really just getting underway, man. So next player, Cobb's going to drop back, fire one across the middle again, and it's Chris Kelly, and he's going to be brought down at about the 10-yard line. He might have gotten the first down, but I think he was probably a bit short, so we're going to probably have to run another play here. But Chris Kelly keeping his name heard, at least a little bit. That's 2 receptions that we've seen so far. So on a 2nd and 1, Cobb is going to step in the pocket, pressure all around, and he's going to take a shot to the end zone. It's Jamil Spears again for his, third touchdown in the first half. And Cobb's, feeling it. Carlos Cobb is feeling it because the pressure was on, man. He had a few linebackers in his face getting ready to wrap him up and bring him down, but he finds Spears in the end zone. And Georgia's secondary just has absolutely zero answer for our receiving core. So 28-0 is your score. And now out of the 2-minute warning here in 3rd and 10, deep in our own end, and Carlos Cobb is going to find Chad Whitaker, who's going to fumble the football again, man. He fumbled the football in the San Diego State game. That was the first game of the season. We thought maybe he had gotten over that, but no, he's going to fumble the football. So Georgia's going to get prime opportunity here in our own end here. But on 3rd and 19, just cannot buy a yard on offense. Quarterback's going to step up into the pocket, and I don't know why you would do that, and he's going to get absolutely flattened here. Going to get absolutely flattened by Jeremy Walls, the junior defensive tackle. So on a 4th and 23, Georgia going to try and kick this one through here and get a few points, and their kicker does not have the leg for it, man. It's going to hit off the protective foam padding on the uprights here, as Georgia just cannot buy a yard, cannot buy a point. Given a prime opportunity, and just cannot make anything come of it. So 28-0 is still going to be your score here late in the first half. And so 47 seconds left to go. 1st and 10, and Cobb is going to drop back here. And Cobb's going to fire one across the middle of the field, and it is caught by Chad Whitaker again, I believe. And it is Chad Whitaker, so Carlos Cobb's absolutely lazing things up here. So 35 seconds, Cobb trying to move with some tempo here, and it's going to get picked off just inside the 20. And so Georgia's going to get another turnover on this Crimson Tide offense here. Still, the scoreboard is not going to create any problems for us. We are completely fine, but Georgia with another opportunity. So on 3rd and 10, again, fighting to earn some yards here, and the quarterback's going to fire a deep shot downfield, and this time it is caught. So Sims, the Georgia quarterback, finally can break through here and get some offense moving here. You see how much we're dwarfing them in that department. So just 8 seconds left to go here. Georgia going to try, and they need to get into the end zone here, but they need any points at all. And their quarterback Sims is going to go for the check down here in double coverage, and he's going to catch it, but he's going to get brought down out of bounds, which will stop the clock, but well short of the first down stick. So 4th down or 3rd down doesn't really matter. They're probably only going to have enough time here to really kick a field goal. So they're going to trust their kicker from about the same distance, and this time he is good. So 28-3 is your score here, as time is going to expire in the first half. And so, hey man, Georgia's got us right where they want us, man. 28-3. You don't want to sit and hold on to a 28-3 lead, but I think we'll be all right. So coming out of the first half here, and Georgia once again is going to try and get something moving, and the ball's going to get batted around. It's Stephen Collins, the safety, who's going to catch it. I think he might have been the first one to touch it as well. So he's going to basically bat the ball to himself. And now we've got a turnover on the Bulldogs offense, so we're going to cut that turnover deficit in half. So on a 3rd and 3 now, we still got the starters in the game here. So Carlos Cobb here is going to go with a fullback dive, and they're going to mark 15 short, I believe. I think he had the first down, but you're going to see they're going to do a sell here. Yeah, see, whenever the defense does a sell, that means they stopped you short. Just, translating old NCAA logic. But I don't know how he was short, man. We can't review it, of course. So we're just going to take the 3 points here and go up 31-3 over Georgia. So already, if you score more points than 28, you should be okay in a 28-3 scenario. I would like to think so. So, but the third quarter will come to a close. Georgia would add another field goal. This game is all but over here. But, hey, man, we have a fourth quarter that we do need to get through. So, once again, our starter's still in here looking for a goal line situation. And we're going to hand it off to Lamont Farrell, and we're going to get him involved as well. Because, hey, man, everyone's going to touch the rock at least a little bit. Chris Kelly still doesn't have his. We didn't get Sean Watts, the tight end, involved either. But it doesn't matter, man. We got Jamil Spears with 3 touchdowns, Chad Whitaker with 1, now Lamont Farrell. And Georgia trying something of their own. It's going to get picked off again, this time by Blackwell, I believe. Or no, it's Sloan. It's one of the backup free safeties. So he's not even on my roster sheet because we don't play him. And that's because we got backups in, baby. And cut further ahead, it's 45-20 now. Time is expiring. We're just trying to get the clock done. We're just trying to run the clock out. And into open space here, the backup running back. No one's going to catch him, man. He's going the whole length of the field. And it's going to be a touchdown, man. A huge rushing touchdown. Lamont Farrell couldn't even do that when he was in the game. And so we're going to give it to the backups and see if they can get involved at all. So We got the backup running back out here feasting, man. And again, I don't have our backups wrote down on my roster sheet, but we will see him. I think Sean Lewis is his name. He is also a sophomore. I know that much. But we probably could interchange both running backs, but we just stick with Lamont Farrell most of the time. So 52-20 is your score, man. We absolutely just poured it on to the Bulldogs. So Sick Nabin with a huge statement win over the Bulldogs here to really kind of assert who is who in the SEC, man, and really kind of separating us from that top brass. Because remember, Georgia was also ranked entering this game, and we just really kind of showed that, hey, man, doesn't really matter. We are the better team by and large here in the SEC, and yeah, that's what you're going to have to deal with moving forward, Mr. Georgia Bulldogs. So big statement when we get the backups involved here. Just look how many yards of offense, man. They had like 1 or 2 first downs in the first half, I swear to God. Third down was absolutely amazing too, man. Just the thing about the Cowboys series, how bad we are on third down, and then look at the Bama series. It's just night and day. We also turned the ball over 2 more times in this game here, but only yeah, a bad turnover game. There was one from our backup quarterback that I didn't show. It was literally his first pass he threw, and it was an interception. I just didn't show it. So Carlos Guy 25 for 36, probably the most incompletions he's had that we've watched. Over 400 yards, though, with 4 touchdowns. So another great game from Carlos Guy. He's got to win some kind of award for this season. I mean, come on, he's got to. Maybe not Heisman, but something. So Garrett Lewis is our backup running back. Only touched the ball 2 times with 94 yards. Crazy. Jamil Spears, probably the best game of a Bama receiver in the Sick Nabin era. Pretty close to some of his other performances earlier in the year. Rick Sloan was the backup safety who had the interception, man. Lead the team in tackles, so he got himself involved as well. We got good guys, man. Horses in the stable. So coming out of this one, the only game we're going to sim is Notre Dame. I was absolutely going to watch that game against Notre Dame, but they weren't ranked. They're kind of bad this year, so, and as you saw, we blew them out, so I just didn't think it was worth watching. So we're going to head into this Ole Miss game, which is a little bit better, more stakes on the line here. Ole Miss is, of course, ranked. We've got a little bit of a history with Ole Miss, not something crazy like Georgia and Arkansas, but this is still a big ranked SEC matchup, so hope to see you guys there at home again when we take on the Ole Miss Rebels, baby.